Hello and welcome for today's soft skill session, which is actually the last session we have before we head into the final conference next week. Yes, this is already next week. We're already at the end again. And today, if it works, okay, perfect. So today's program, we will focus on the elevator pitch, which we already mentioned to you during the project review, that your presentation has to start with your elevator pitch. So that will be the main focus of today. This is then followed by a visioning exercise that Catherine will guide us through, and I'm already looking forward to that. And at the end, we will put you into several breakout rooms where you will work on your own elevator pitch that you then present at the end of today's session to us in the plenary. All right, so each one of us has a particular set of skills. On the one hand, we have our hard skills, and hard skills are trainable skills that we get through, teachable skills. They're teachable skills that we get in the classroom or through books or through training materials. So generally, they are quantifiable. You get a certificate for it, you get a degree for it, you have a proficiency in a foreign language or a computer programming. So there is something you can show that you learned these skills. On the other hand, we have soft skills, and soft skills are harder to quantify as they are very subjective skills. And they're also called people skills or interpersonal skills. And those skills are basically, they're the people's ability to communicate and interact with each other and work well together. But they're harder to quantify, because how do you quantify what teamwork is or how good you are at teamwork? And you see some of the examples here. So it's communication, flexibility, also leadership and teamwork. They're all soft skills. And although they are hard to quantify, there are several studies that show that employers want employees to have good soft skills. So this is on the rise, and this is the graphic you see right here shows that the relative importance of soft skills, of several soft skills for employers of food scientists and technologists. And the first bar, the gray bar, and also the one that is indicated by the arrows, that is representing communication. And as you can see, that the higher the level of a food scientist or food technologist, so the higher the position he has in the job, or the more important he is, the more important or the more valued your communication skill or the communication skill is. The communication skill gets more valued the higher the position is and the higher the responsibility is. And what does it mean for us? Today, we are talking about the elevator pitch, what I mentioned before, and the elevator pitch is a special form of communication. So that's the link to the soft skills. And an elevator pitch is a quick speech that you give, and it tells an idea. With an elevator pitch, you tell an idea, for example, of your project, and it ideally should generate interest. And a quick speech really is the word of the game here, because you only have 60 to 90 seconds to do your elevator pitch. So that's not a long time. And it does stem from the idea that you're entering an elevator at the bottom floor with somebody else, for example, an executive, and you want to tell him your idea, your project that is really important for you. But that person is very busy, and you only have until the end of the elevator ride to tell him about your project, and optimally he should leave this elevator with your idea in your head and just focusing on your project afterwards and not with all the other stuff he has to do. The one time it would actually be good to be stuck in an elevator. Right, so that is the principle of an elevator pitch. Quick, persuasive speech to create interest. And we will now watch the video of an elevator pitch that we like to show because we think it's good. and it illustrates the point what an elevator pitch is quite perfectly. So I hope this works now. As I can't see you, I won't know.
So far, so good.
Thank you.
Doors closing.
In 1492, Christopher Columbus discovered America, and in 1607, the English established their first permanent colony in the New World at Jamestown, Virginia. Taking these two key dates as my start and end points, my research essentially traces the processes by which the English firstly learned of the new lands across the Atlantic, and then how they applied this new knowledge to their own colonial enterprise. As you can probably imagine, these processes are often very varied and difficult to trace, because Englishmen and women utilise the image of America both consciously and unconsciously, for commercial gain and as a subconscious means of expressing their own specific cultural anxieties. For example, an Indigenous American could be perceived as barbarous and in dire need of English help and evangelization, and thus as a justification for conquest and colonization. But they could equally be seen as the pure, innocent alternative to the corruption and decadence of 16th century England. Paradoxically then, Amerindians could be both savage and civilized. Because of these complexities and their seeming contradictions, I think that understanding the English reaction to America in the 16th century is crucial to understanding the development of English imperialism in the New World from the 17th century onwards.
All right, so that is a quick demonstration of what an elevator pitch looks like. And now we do have one also prepared. Catherine will give her elevator pitch, and I will be happy to time her, because we also think that the video is good, but also now watching it again after so many times, you do realize, or it looks like it is edited. So we don't know if she's really in this elevator because it was a long elevator ride. And we want to give you also an example that is more tangible for you maybe, and also show you how your elevator pitch will look like or should look like next week during the final conference. And Catherine, if you want.
Yeah. I think you took over the screen sharing, right?
Yeah, sure. No worries.
I did, right? I have the.
You're sharing.
Now I'm going to get in the elevator.
You're getting in the elevator. You're pushing the button. I'm having my timer here.
And I'm going to tell you before I start that this started because, and all of you probably have the same experience, people ask you, what are you studying? And how do you answer that? You know, when you're doing your PhD, especially. So this is where I'm going to tell you about my PhD. I'm ready.
You're ready. You push the button, the door opens, and somebody asks you, what are you studying?
For my PhD, I studied cells in the brain that produce the hormone GnRH, which regulates sexual development. These cells have a receptor for the neurotransmitter glutamate. It's called the NMDA receptor. And I studied differences in this receptor in males and females at different ages. I didn't study lab rats, but I studied a common lab fish, the platyfish, which has a physiology very similar to humans and other mammals. For example, it's one of the rare fish that have sex, and the females give birth to live young. My research showed that females had more cells with the NMDA receptor than males, and that pubescent and mature females had twice as many receptors as young and old females. Further, in pubescent females, glutamate bound to the NM receptor with a strength 5 times that of its binding in all other groups. When we prevented glutamate from binding to the NMDA receptor in young animals, puberty was delayed, but only in females and not in males. This work suggested that in the brain, there is anatomical and chemical regulation of sexual development, and that this is different in males and females. How'd I do?
Dum, dum, dum. The first person already got out 1 floor earlier, but the second person stayed in until the end. So it was about 1 minute, 26 seconds.
Wow. And to give everybody hope, about the elevator pitch, I'll tell you, I've been working on this for a long time.
Yes.
So be patient with yourself and, work on your elevator pitch. And it takes effort to tell a good story in a short amount of time.
But I think to be positive here, it's the first time you kept within the 90 seconds.
Okay, well, that's.
I think that is really the first time we managed within the 90 seconds. But I think it just shows you, because that's also why we want to do this, or we like to show you, like, the video on the one hand is good to illustrate what an elevator pitch is, but on the other hand, it is edited. Like I say, like this, watching it this time, I watched it for 3 or 4 times, and this is the first time I really see that the outline, she's standing in front of a green screen. The elevator is just a recording that is running in the background to make it look like the elevator, that she is riding the elevator, and it makes it look easier. But then we show Catherine, and she did this for 3 or 4 or 5 times right now. And it is not as easy as you might think, because your speech pattern, how fast you talk, it all affects the duration.
Yeah, it's a tough exercise. So we're going to do our best. We have about an hour, and we're going to work on our elevator pitch. So to get started on the elevator pitch, I want to take you through this guided visioning exercise. And this is an exercise that some of you may know and some of you not. And when we start, I'm going to ask you to please make sure your microphone is turned off, and you can leave your webcam on. And please be sure that you have a pen and a paper near you, or that you have a Word document that you can open easily, so that after the visioning, you can take some notes. So we're going to spend the next part of the meeting working on your elevator pitch about your project in increasing innovation in existing short food supply chains. And we'll do it with this guided visioning. And in this exercise, you can participate in the way that is best for you. If you want to follow my instructions, that's great. But if you'd rather be an observer, that's also fine. But you'll have better results if you put your full attention and your full effort into this guided visioning exercise. Maybe you're familiar, maybe you've done exercises like this in the past, but for some of you, this may be a brand new experience. So we start a guided visioning with a short relaxation. We're all very busy. Our minds are crowded with thoughts. But research has shown that when we're relaxed, we can increase our focus. So to relax your body and your mind, I ask you now to take your hands off of your computer and gently rub them together. And then press them against your face and give yourself a little face rub. Now you can put your hands on your legs and gently close your eyes, or lower them, or focus on some distant spot. And make sure that your legs and your arms are not crossed. And notice your breath now. Notice your breath going in and out, but don't try to change it in any way. Throughout this exercise, you should listen carefully to my voice and to what I say. Bring your focus now to your feet. Feel your toes and your feet. Squeeze them tightly together. And then feel your feet relax and let go. And move your focus now to your lower legs. And try to tighten only your calf muscles. And now let them relax. Now notice your thighs and notice the muscles behind your legs, and tighten these two groups of large muscles. And now Feel your upper legs relax. And move your attention up to your sit bones and to your pelvis. And notice how you're sitting, and perhaps adjust your posture. Sit a little straighter. And take a few deep breaths into your belly and feel the air as it moves into and out of your abdomen. Now feel your chest. Notice your heart and your lungs as you breathe quietly, filling and emptying your chest with the warm and gentle air. Now move your attention to your hands and your fingers and let any tension flow out. Feel your arms and shoulders relax. As your shoulders descend, they're down, low, far away from your ears. Send your in-breath down your arms to your fingertips, and feel your exhale come back up your arms to your shoulders, your neck, and out of your body through your nose. Now notice your face, your neck, and your skull, and feel a gentle wave rolling up the back of your neck and over your skull and forward to your face. Let any tension leave your face now as you feel your forehead relax. Let your eyelids relax and your jaw. Let your neck soften and stay there, right now, right here, in your body, and breathe. Leave all the mental chatter behind and feel a gentle flow of energy. It's relaxing your brain, your face, your neck and your throat, your heart, and your entire body. Now, I ask you to imagine that you can travel into the future. I will give you specific suggestions and instructions. As much as possible, visualize what you hear in a clear, vivid, and detailed way. Try to put yourself into the scene as completely as you can. You are going fast forward. Imagine the calendar on your computer moving quickly ahead. The pages are flying off the paper calendar. December 2022 is already here. 2023 is already gone. It's winter, it's spring, it's summer again, and we're going forward to September of 2023, and we're back in school. The summer is over. We're motivated. You have arrived in the north of Sweden now. You're in Umeå, and you're there for the Fair Chain Food Hack. You were invited because your team won the competition for increasing innovation in an existing short food supply chain. See yourself in Sweden. There are pine trees all around. There's a reindeer crossing the road. The weather is cool. And now you enter the university where the food hack is being held. And look down at yourself See your clothes, see your shoes. You're dressed well, you're very professional. Imagine exactly what you are wearing. Now you go up to the welcome desk and you say your name, and the attendant hands you a name tag, and the person next to you says, "Hello, I'm the head of the Food Hack Scientific Committee, and I recognize your name. You're the winner of the Food Factory for Us competition. I am so pleased to meet you. I haven't had the chance to read about your winning project. Please, can you tell me what your project is about?" And listen to yourself now as you introduce the problem in increasing innovation in an existing short food supply chain. And continue listening to yourself now that you have explained the problem, and now you list the key points of your team's project and how that project will address this problem. And now you can gently open your eyes, but do not speak. Come back to the present moment and pick up your pen and paper, or go to your Word document and write down the problem you're addressing and the solution that your team is proposing. Write down what you said in your vision. Please stay focused, and we'll time 3 minutes of silence while you take your notes. Okay. So now we're going to make breakout groups, and we're going to put you with your team. And with your team, we're going to leave you together about 15 minutes, maybe a little longer. And we'll ask you to decide who is going to watch the time and make sure everyone speaks, a facilitator or timekeeper, and decide who's going to give the elevator pitch. And it's probably a good idea if it's the same person who does it today as the person who will do it next week in the final conference. And then make sure everyone in the group talks and tells what they imagined during the visioning. And then the presenter, the person who's going to give the elevator pitch, should write the script. And I'll tell you, for my elevator pitch and also for leading the visioning, it maybe sounds like it's natural, but actually every word is written down. So you can write a script that has every word, and then you mostly memorize it. And then we'll have the plenary after about 15 or 20 minutes. We'll all come back together and you'll give your elevator pitch to the group. Remember that when you're preparing the elevator pitch, that you should be respectful of the other people in your group. You know, listen to what they imagined, because maybe it's different from what you imagined. And ask yourself, remind yourself that it's okay to be influenced by what other people said. And be curious, you know, let the other person tell you why they imagined what they did. when they were talking about your team project. I'll just tell you, I find this very motivating, that this kind of visioning exercise is well known in the world of sports. And professional athletes use this kind of visioning to imagine themselves as the winner. So that's kind of what I ask you to do now. You know, imagine yourself as the winner and talk about your project with the attitude of a winner. So I think we can, unless there are any questions, if there are, go right ahead. You can just open your microphone and talk. And Christoph, I'll ask, do we have at least 2 people from every team?
We do have at least 2 from every team. The one that I'm not sure is LSSU. But Maria, if you're there, could you just turn on your camera for a second? Because I don't know if you're alone or if others are with you.
I'm actually alone right now.
Okay, because I know that one of your team members was here. I think Sia was here.
Yeah.
I don't know how you want to proceed, Catherine, because she would be alone.
Okay, Maria, I think we leave you alone to write your own script. Okay, if one of your, if one, yeah, you can do it alone. I mean, I did mine alone, you know.
Yeah.
It's nicer to do it with someone else, but if you can contact one of your team members and get them to join you, you know, even by telephone to talk about it, that's great. But otherwise, you can work on your own.
I'll do it.
Okay.
So I created the breakout rooms.
Okay, so
There are
I
no-
think,
yeah.
yeah, that's it. My next slide is for when they come back. So
Yeah.
let's give them 20 minutes, I think.
Yeah, sure.
We have time, and then we'll still have time for the critical friend and to listen to the pitches.
Yep, perfect.
So, and if you have questions during these 20 minutes, you know, you can come back, right? They can come back into the main.
Yes.
We're not going anywhere.
Nope, we are staying right here. Okay, perfect. Then I will open the rooms and we will see you again in 20 minutes.
Okay, so I hope you had fun writing your elevator pitch. And now we're going to ask each team to share their elevator pitch. And I want to remind you that there is no grade on this elevator pitch. The fact that you are here and you do it, you already have full credit. So no stress. We're all trying to help each other to improve. And a way that we're going to help each other is something that we've done before, and that's by being a critical friend. So while you're listening to the elevator pitch of your teammate, I want you to think about and maybe write down one thing that you think this team or this person could do to improve their elevator pitch, and one thing that you find really positive about the elevator pitch that you want to copy yourself. And here, remember, we're really focused on the presentation more than on the science. We all are doing different projects and we don't necessarily know the technology behind the project, but we do know if the person is presenting it clearly or not. Of course, we should understand what the project is about, so they should be able to tell us something about the science or the technology behind it. So Christoph is going to time you, and he's not going to stop you at 90 seconds. He'll let you finish your elevator pitch, but he'll tell you afterwards how long it took you. And then we'll write our comments in the chat. We'll have 1 minute to write a positive comment and 1 minute to write a negative or a constructive comment. And we'll give you these comments, and you'll also have your recording, so you can look at that and have a week to polish your elevator pitch. Okay, so is there a team that wants to volunteer to go first, or should I just follow my? Okay, there you go.
Many people would like to volunteer.
Okay, great. Okay,
Before I start, I have a question. Do we have to say our project name before the speech or
No.
including as part of the speech?
No, you don't have to include it at all because you'll be introduced at the conference.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Because
so
our name is quite long, so I think it might take a lot longer than expected. but
Yeah,
Thank you. Okay.
Exactly. I think it's better because me or Christopher Fottini will say, and the next team to present their project is Mihipo, and that, we'll give that introduction, so you can just start.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so super. So Christoph's got the timer, and let's all listen. Everybody's ready to be a critical friend, something you love that you want to copy, and something you think that this team can do to improve. And here we go.
Okay. Are you tired of the lengthy journey from your food take from farm to table? Imagine a future where fresh, nutritious product is just a stone throw away from your doorstep. Introducing our short food supply chain system coupled with urban agriculture, FlavorNet. By utilizing vertical space, we can maximize the efficiency and produce a significant amount of food in a fraction of the space required by traditional farming method. Then, FlavorNet is our digital platform that contains the necessary knowledge required for sustainable farming, practice, and business management. It connects a small-scale farmer with local consumer and retailer. We take advantage of this urban farm to create a seamless connection between producer and consumer. By eliminating the middleman, streamlining the process, we ensure that the freshest fruit, vegetable, and herbs reach your plate within hours of being harvested while reducing unnecessary carbon footprint. Thank you.
Nice, great, okay. So now let's open the chat. And
That was actually a point landing.
how long was he, Crystal?
1 minute and 2 seconds. So perfectly fine. Was a point landing. Really good.
Beautiful. Okay, so let's open the chat. We'll write the name of the team. This is Mihipo team. So we can give you the comments later. And now we have a minute or so. Let's get a positive comment. What did you love? What do you want to copy? And it's okay to copy. Copying is a form of flattery. Okay, so you can write your comment and press enter like I did. And we'll try and get a comment from everyone, please. Great, some really nice comments. It's true about the positive vibes. That's right, Jesus, you could feel it coming out of the screen. So positive. Okay, any more positive comments? Anybody else about what you liked? Okay, so let's go on to writing some constructive criticism. And we take another minute to write what we think could be improved. Yes, absolutely. Everyone can write a constructive criticism. Nice, Jesus. Thank you. Yep, something specific. Thanks, Antonio. I think similar to Jesus could be a little more clear exactly what the solution is. Maria? Oh, Maria you got lost. You couldn't follow his presentation. Okay. Okay. Okay, did you want to write something? Okay, the ending was not graceful.
Yeah, I feel like I should end something better than just reducing unnecessary carbon footprint. It should be something more motivative like that.
Yeah, something more specific, maybe specific to your project. Clear. Okay, thank you, Rain. Okay, so let's go to the next team. Let's hear another elevator pitch. Someone like to volunteer? We'll close the chat. Any team want to volunteer to go next?
Maybe I can go next.
Okay, Maria, great.
Should I start?
Whenever you're ready, I will start the timer.
Okay, I will start. So over the past years, the existing supply chains in the Philippines has gotten a bit worse every day, and it has been affecting local producers or farmers. So our project aims to solve the scarcity and high cost of fare for transporting commodities from the highland villages to the low or high-end markets in the Philippines. As they came from high or steep villages, we thought of linking the highland farmers to the Department of Agriculture, wherein both will be able to discuss the benefits of having a mobile fruit and vegetable market, which will transform into a new mode of transportation for the farmers. With this, the farmers will be able to compete more successfully in the market, and the project will be able to build a stronger and more competitive short food supply chain with lesser cost from the farmers' income. And soon we'll be able to coordinate with the local government unit and neighboring municipalities to adopt the project. That's all.
Okay.
That was even more a point landing than poker before. So you do have 2 more seconds you could expand on. No, it was perfect. Thank you.
Okay, great. Nice, Maria. That was really nice. And working alone. That's
Yeah.
impressive. Okay, so here's the team, SLSU, right? So Food Tech. And okay, thanks, Christoph. Thanks, Mike. Let's get some positive things. What are you going to copy? Good. Hina, Vivian, any comments? Thanks, Hina. Okay, so let's give Maria some helpful criticism. Okay. Anybody else with a helpful comment? Thanks, Hina. Yeah, explain the problem a little more. Good. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, nice. Okay, let's go to the next team. We have 2 more teams. Anyone want to take the next one?
We can go.
Okay, Antonio. Great.
Can I start?
Again, whenever you start, I will start the timer. So feel free.
Thank you. Yes, the main problems of short food supply chains are that of the inefficiency, in particular that of direct sales from producer to consumers. They are represented by local markets and are small and inefficient because they fail to be resilient to societal problems and changing markets such as competition with large supermarkets and other forms of sales. Our project envisages fitting in between these problems that hinder their development and the need for the short food supply chain to be resilient and survive the shocks with an app through a network of collaboration made by public entities, which can contribute with the formation of a food hub where in-person sales can be made and other places online through the app. In addition, the app is a tool to educate future generation on good eating habits, their effects, and the importance of short food supply chain to achieve the sustainable development goals.
You have even more seconds to spend. It's 55 seconds.
Okay, let's give some feedback to Antonio. Back to the chat. Let's get the name of the team. Thanks, Christoph. JVA Smart Team. And something positive. What did you like about Antonio's elevator pitch? Okay, thanks, Jesus. Okay, so let's take a minute now and write some constructive criticism. What can be done better? Thanks, Vivian. The emphasis is important. I think also Poki made the comment earlier that's very true about stressing certain parts and not stressing others. And also the power of, like Poki just said, take a breath and pause. There's power in a pause. It makes people listen to what you just said. Yeah, thanks, Mike, right? Use a little more of the time. So if you practice it again before the conference and you can use a little more time. Okay, so let's go to the final team.
Can I start?
Okay, Vivian, great.
So, good day, everyone. I'm from Team Pinoy Kaon. As what we observe here in the Philippines, that the farmers are low wages when it comes selling their product. In order by helping the farmers increase their wages and making it easier for them in growing the plants, we want to make a mobile app that could help the farmers by having the consumers adopt a plot from them. And through adopting a plot, the consumers can actually teach their younger ones in knowing how to take care and grow a plant. And also, the consumers have an option to go directly to farmer's place to link each other and convince the consumer about farming. Thank you. That's all.
Okay, that's
was
the
very
shortest
fun.
one ever.
Yes.
Okay, let's give what we loved about it. Short. Everybody likes that. Oh, thanks. We got the team name, and let's say what we liked. Thanks, Jesus. That's true, was intense, yeah. Yeah, there is no requirement to be 1 minute. If you feel you can give the strength of your project in 30 seconds, then that's great. That's true, Mike. What Mike says is true. It was very catchy because it was fast. Absolutely true. Okay, let's give some constructive criticism. Anything else about what might be in the remaining time? Yeah, okay. Now, I think you can't give a lot of numbers, but a couple of them are good. I try in my elevator pitch to say, it was 5 times more. And the lady in the elevator, the recording, she says in her elevator pitch some numbers of the years. And this year, this happened. It makes it very specific. And I think people appreciate that. Some kind of numbers, some detail. Any other constructive comment for this team? For Vivian? A catchy detail. Okay, great. So thanks, everyone. I think we can turn it over to Fotini now, and she'll close today's session.
Should I share, or will you share, Catherine, the last slide?
Sure, I'll go back. I have it open.
Okay, thank you. Great. So I would like to thank you all for your active engagement. I hope all the team members enjoyed the session today. And now the next step is the student reflection on today's session. Ideally, we would like you to finish it today, but as we understand that in some countries it's very late at night, you could have the deadline until tomorrow to finish it. The link will be sent, if I'm not wrong, later, if you don't have it, or Christoph, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, you can also find it like the other reflection logs, and you have and on our homepage under the learner evaluation section, I opened the reflection log. So if you now click on today's session, you will be guided directly to the form where you can put in your reflection.
Great. And last but not least, just a reminder, the final virtual conference will be on the 1st of June at 1 to 3 CEST. This is Austria time. And we look forward to welcoming you there and to listen to all your interesting presentations.
And I hope you already registered for it, because this time we have a separate link. It won't be this one. Did we send it? Have we all done it on the homepage? Catherine, you're muted.
Yeah, maybe we should send the link to register again. Make sure.
Okay. Then I will, when I send out the emails today for the critical friend, I can also include the link again.
Mm-hmm. And we can say also that this final conference is open to the public. We've been advertising it on the social media of Fairchain and ISEKI, and you are welcome to invite your mentor, your classmates, professors, your family. You can share this link with anyone and they can register and attend the conference.